Ian, tell us a little bit about GTIs and what makes them so special for you.
The thing that makes it special for us, it's a proper racing car. It's a scaled-down version of a Formula One, if you'd like to put it in that context. When it was born in this country, it was done by DAW and Jeff Weberski about 6 years ago. And it basically replaced the Formula Atlantics, the old South African Drivers' Championship. And today we carry the South African Drivers' Championship. We have for 2 years. The drivers that are in it, we've got 3 guys overseas at the moment. Garth Weberski, who's due to have his first race in Formula Renault tomorrow. He's been quickest over there. Stephen Watson and Henny Groenewald, they're racing Formula 3s. So for the guys that are going overseas, I think, or plan to go, that are young enough and have got the talent to get to Formula One, this has got to be the breeding ground for them, their stepping stone.
Tell us a bit about the chassis.
For the first 18 months, I think it was, I wasn't involved then, I was with Formula V's. It was the DAW Mark 1 chassis. There's still a couple of them running at the moment. Then we got to the Ashleys, was the next manufacturer. Then DAW brought out a new car of their own, a DAW Mark 3. Then the imported cars started to come in, namely the Rays and the Swifts. And since then, technology's just kept on going.
Now, if a young guy wanted to get involved in this type of racing, firstly, where should he start, and what would it cost him to set up with a second-hand vehicle?
I would say a guy should start in a Class B car, because you're going to have your offs. And it's cheaper to fix a Class B car than with the latest Class A cars. Unless, of course, the guys come from a 250 kart or has got a good background in something. I would say start off with a Class B car, learn to get your feet right and everything, and then you can progress to Class A. It's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper that way. To set yourself up with a Class B car and get running, you probably look in the region about 30,000 Rand. Whereas to set yourself up in Class A, you're looking at about 60, 75,000 to get the car.
And so on to the racetrack, and the first heat of Class B of the Formula GTI. In pole position, Nigel Townsend, next to him Craig Pieterse, followed by Malcolm Cochrane and Alan Eve, the current points leader in this championship. The green flag from the back of the grid signifies the 5-second board, the red light and the green light. And Nigel Townsend in the white car on the left of your screen gets a great start and into total corner, and the gaggle of cars pouring out behind him. He's under a lot of pressure up at the front there. He daren't make a mistake. If he does, he'll have all those cars into him and trying to take avoiding action. And already a casualty as 72 Nico Bester comes to grief in his DAW Mark II, really spoiling the front end of that car. And that was his race run for the day. Although he did circulate back around to the pits again, but the action has long gone from him. Down the long straight into the Citizen left-hander and up the Motorsport hill into Bosel for the first time. And you can see how close the action is, and it was to stay this way throughout the entire race. Nigel Townsend leading the race out of the right-hander Sabat, very, very fast corner, and further down the field, Yanni Smith, number 88, having a ding-dong battle with the challenge from the field behind him into total corner, and then under heavy braking for Continental. Nigel Townsend fighting off the challenge of Craig Pieterse, and Alan Eve going a little bit wide there, very nearly loses it, but powers his way back, still under control and in third position. But look at the action, Roger, for first place here.
And it's Craig Pieterse challenging all the way down that Altimore straight. They'll be hitting 240 kilometers an hour at the 50-meter break mark. They just touch the anchors, and then they send it down through Citizen Sweep and up the Motorsport hill. And Pieterse going for the front as he goes into Bosel corner. The camber goes away from you, and Eve is stuck through in the inside as well. So Townsend under a great deal of pressure. Pieterse did very well at Kyle Army. He's only got 2 points in the championship so far, but that doesn't matter to him. He's certainly mixing it with the other drivers that have been gaining the points in the other races. And it's Pieterse in the front, Alan Eve on his tail in the green motor car. Through that total curve, very tricky one. You've got to turn, you've got to brake, you've got to line yourself up for Conti corner. Now you power it on as you come out in front of that full gallery, and it's still Pieterse.
And a lap later, you can see that Townsend had got his way back up into second position with Alan Eve down in third in the green car. But Townsend, with only 2 points in the championship, was really flying here. Alan Eve, the leader of the championship, by more than double the points of his nearest contender. And again, Eve challenging very strongly, coming out of Bosel and going down towards Seibert again. But Townsend just seemed to have the edge. But all the time, Craig Peterson was edging away, or seemed to be. But, well, seemed to be was all it was, because here you see him holding up his hand to say his race was run, his engine had died on him, and that left the lead to Townsend, with Eve moving up into second place. Absolute frustration after leading the race so comfortably to be sidelined by mechanical failure. Well, that's motor racing, and the leaders now started to come up to some of the back markers. And this man is Paul Retief, number 68 in your picture, being pressured by the leaders, and you can see how the pressure tells, losing it in Bosel Bend as the rest of the pack move away down the field. Earlier on, we spoke to the only lady in the race.
Mine is the very, very bright pink satin and lace, the lingerie car. It's the brightest, not the fastest, but I'm having fun.
And it's nice to have a rose amongst the thorns, a brave lady to boot. And there she is in that nice, stylish satin and lace grey. But up the front, as we go into the final stage of the race, it's Townsend now being challenged by Eve as they go down to Citizen Sweep. It's only the brave go down here as quick as this. As they come up the Motorsport hill, it's Townsend trying to go through the inside, but Eve closes the door, uses all the road, and he's well on his way to the flag as he goes down to Seibert. It's one bank corner, he shoots out there along the Michelin Straight, and the checkered flag waits him 7 wins in a row so far in the season.
And no sooner had the Class B cars cleared the track than the Class A cars came out for their first 15-lap heat. 15 laps because the track is 2 kilometers long, and in a national championship the cars must do 30 kilometers. In pole position, Claudio Piazzamussa, the current points leader in his auto-equipped Ray. Next to him is the Ward Accord Swift of Duncan Foss, and away they go.
And a nice start there by Claudio Piazzamussa, followed by the white car of Duncan Foss into total. The first right-hander on his tail, Andre Freyenhoek, and he's been challenged by Ian Pepper. And somebody overdoes it there, trying to take a shortcut as that whole pack moves through Continental Corner. In there is De Santos and Roux and Gibbons and Mark de Nobrega from Cape Town. York Ekman, there's Glenn Seller, they're all in there. Bruce Stewart and Foss, Graham Foss, they are having an absolute battle as they go down this long Altamore straight, flat out. It's a 1.8 litre Golf GTI 8-valve motor, and they are quick, 240 kilometers an hour. And here's the tricky one, the Motorsport hill. The car wants to slide off the road as it tightens going round Bosel, also with an off camber, and then they accelerate down to the bank corner at Seibert. Along the Michelin Straight, still Piazzamussa, Duncan Foss and Freyenhoek, and that whole pack of talent just behind them there. Ekman and Seller and Stewart and Foss. Piazzamussa, Foss, Freyenhoek in the colourful car. Ian Pepper comes next. Here's Marco de Santos, all on his own there. This is a man who made the running in the early part of the season. And here they come, it's Dion Roux, another motocrosser, like Ian Pepper. Very tricky this one. You can see another man going off there, going right across the circuit, and that is Jorg Ekman, one of the stars of Formula V racing, now into GTIs in that WAP car, has gone off there at Continental Corner, gone straight, and that's his race over for the day. And slowing, we've got Freyenhoek, that's one of the stars of South African karting, and he's coming to a stop as well, and he was so well placed in this race as the field just streams through. It's very close racing we've come to expect in GTI, and never closer than you get here at the Total Raceway at Zwartkops. And it's still Piazzamussa, Duncan Foss keeping the pressure on, Ian Pepper. We heard from a little bit earlier, these are the later model motor cars. They're South African built Rays and Swifts, 1.8 litre 8-valve GTI motors, pushing out 100 horsepower, the more powerful ones, the better tuned ones, and the yellow flag says there's danger. And that's because Ekman is stuck in the tyres there at Conti. Oh, and he's just trying to get through on the inside, and Piazzamussa hangs on there. He gives him a bit away there. Bit of sportsmanship by Duncan Foss allows Piazzamussa to hang on to the lead, but he knows the pressure's on now. He knows Foss can actually get in there and pass him. He's got to stay wide away. Keep watching those mirrors. Just a dab of the brake. It's a 4-speed gearbox as he hurtles up this Motorsport hill. Touch of the brakes. Down again. Powers it on. You can see that full stretch on those Bridgestone slick tyres.
And racing away now towards the Seibert right-hander and up towards the start and finish line. And it's Claudio Piazzamussa leading Duncan Foss into Total Corner for the last time. Piazzamussa leads the championships And this is the third round of the championships now, and Duncan Force tries to come through on the inside, and the last time round the corner he cooks his goose, straddles the track. That's a dangerous position to stop. He gets underway again, but Piazza Musa went on to win the race.
And so another 9 points for Piazza Musa.